Hi everyone, and welcome to today's General Hospital recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Sorry I was gone yesterday. I did not expect to be gone. I meant to tweet about it, but I had to take a nap. I did not feel good yesterday, and so not to bore you with the details, but that's why I wasn't here. But I am back, I'm caught up, and let's get to today, because boy was it a Friday. It was such a Friday. Like, I took a break from binging Orange is the New Black just for this. So, yeah, I'm committed. Okay. So at the Quartermains, Sam fills Sabrina in on yesterday's conversation with Nina, and Sam says that she has a plan to get Rosalie's secret that just might work. And then at ELQ, Jake and Michael talk to Rosalie about the takeover attempts and just like regular office stuff, no big deal. And then Jake goes down the elevator to get his ID, and Rosalie tells Michael that hiring Jake is a mistake. Well, she goes into his office to tell him that, and then while she's in the office trying to discredit Jake, Sam walks into ELQ and puts a listening device into Rosalie's phone, and then Rosalie, in the office while Sam's doing her thing, Rosalie tries to cast suspicion on Jake since he technically used to work for the Cassidines, and trying to say that she thinks he's the mole, or he's the one who's trying to get information from ELQ to the Cassidines. And then Michael kind of lets it slip that he has all his employees thoroughly vetted, and she asks more about it, and he says, like, oh, is this about the secret Nina's holding over you? And then Michael tells her that he didn't have his people look into her history because she has his trust. And I'm like, oh my god, that is literally like the worst decision you've probably ever made in the past year, Michael. And then Jake walks back in and kind of catches Sam a little bit, but Sam already finished with her, planting of the bug. And he asks Sam what she's doing, and she's like, I just want to talk to Michael, and I figured I'd check his calendar since he's in a meeting to see if maybe he could come over for dinner to, see Danny, and da-da-da-da. And then Sam suggests that they double date Elizabeth, Jake, and her and Patrick, and he's like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And then when Sam leaves, Jake goes into the office and tells Michael that he thinks he knows where the leak might be. At Windermere, and Rosalie isn't in there for that conversation. She already went back outside. At Windermere, Laura goes to visit Nicholas. Laura tells Nicholas about her and Luke's reunion. They talk a little bit about corporate takeovers of the past. Nothing too exciting. And then she leaves, and that's when Rosalie calls Nicholas to tell him that Michael hired Jake to smoke them out. So hopefully that listening device doesn't just work for calls made on that phone, because she called on her cell phone. So hopefully, Sam's a professional. I'm sure she thought of that. Why not? Back at the Quartermains, Tracy and Dylan are talking, and Tracy tells Dylan that she's mostly mad at herself for the whole Luke situation because she's the one who kept going back to him. And then after Dylan leaves, Sabrina walks in and talks to Tracy and tries to empathize with her, and says that, if anyone can understand what she's going through, it's her because of what happened. They don't go into detail, but we all know why. And then Sabrina offers to be Tracy's friend after Tracy has the realization that she doesn't really have any friends. Not in a sad way, just in that's not the way her life works way. At the Haunted Star, oh, I almost messed it up. Lulu and Luke talk about the Luke and Laura reunion, and I agree with some commenters saying that this whole reunion thing, it feels like they're using the really good history of Luke and Laura and turning it into a joke or just a flimsy plot device, and I totally agree with that. And Lulu basically has Tracy's back all the way and is not backing Luke or Laura in any of this. And Luke was just about to tell Lulu what's going on when Dylan storms in, and now Dylan is demanding answers from Luke, and Dylan grabs Luke, and that's when Laura walks in, and Luke says that everything that was said at the engagement party was a lie. Dun dun dun. But we already kind of figured that. I called it, so hopefully on Monday they'll clue us in, but we probably won't know till Monday of June 2016, because that's the way life works. At the police station, they are really bringing light to current events, which I think is amazing and good, because any platform that you can talk about current events and what's going on is just a way to get people talking and a way to bring awareness, and I'm behind that more than 100%. And this whole thing with TJ, it's just, it's, I can't even, you know what I mean? He thinks that he was discriminated against, and Dante thinks so too. I think so. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone thinks so because there was no reason to hold him on suspicion that his credit card, like, that it made no sense at all. He had his ID, he had the credit, like, it made no sense. And Dante is beating himself up over this, and so is Jordan, especially because the mayor is, like, forcing her to, like, treat this like any other case, but by doing that, actually forcing her into treating this, because I think even if it wasn't TJ, if it was someone else under the same circumstances, they would have released the person. And TJ points out that Luke Spencer and Julian Jerome, like, they're all free, and only him and Sean ever got put in jail. Well, ever got put behind bars, as he says it. And, like, you know what we all have in common. So TJ says that he couldn't trust Dante because Dante helped Jordan lie to him for over a year, and he doesn't trust Jordan, aka his mom. And Jordan tells TJ that Duke tried to have her killed just to, like, kind of break this facade he had that Duke was, like, this really good guy and, like, totally awesome, like, that everyone has their flaws and does really bad things, and he shouldn't be holding them over her because really she's not worse than them at any way, shape, or form. Sorry, it's really hot in here and I'm, like, at his wedding. So then I think TJ's a little bit confused with this whole thing. Like, his whole life is turning upside down. Up until now, he thought Duke was, like, even though he, like, was in the mob, like, he was, like, kind of this upstanding guy and all that. And, you know, now he's upset at Jordan for keeping him even though he's done nothing wrong, and I can't blame him for that at all. So while Dante is in the more lobby part of the police station, because that all happened in the interrogation room, Valerie walks in and sees he's visibly upset and starts talking to him about it and saying, oh, that she saw the news footage online, and Dante's like, yeah, but that's not all that happened. Like, that doesn't even tell half the story. So then Valerie tells Dante, after he, like, filled her in a little bit, Valerie tells Dante about her own personal experience with discrimination, and she said that, you know, she's been pulled over multiple times for driving a car that was too nice for her, and it doesn't make, you know, it doesn't make sense to her because she's just as white as she is black, but that's not what people see when they see her, and, like, that, just, it's so sad. Like, I can't. And, Valerie briefly brings light to white privilege with the fact that Dante doesn't have to ever think about stuff like this. Like, it never really comes up in his life at all. And she tells Dante there's nothing different he could have done because he's like, I shouldn't have arrested him. Did I not talk the guard down enough? And, like, really, it was a no-win situation for anyone at that point. And they really call out the fact that there's only one side of the story being told, and that's the security footage that was leaked to the press, that the press is just showing over and over from what it sounds like, without actively attempting to get to the, you know, the other side of the story, and just kind of vilifying TJ in this whole thing, which is, like, I don't know, it's kind of directly calling out what happened last year. And how, you know, the story's being skewed in the media. And then Valerie and Dante have this really close moment where they're staring into each other's eyes and holding hands, and I'm like, yeah, okay, like, now you're kind of going over a little bit. Like, I know you're having this, like, time of understanding and, like, exchange of ideas, but, like, you know, we're still in a soap opera, and you're still married, and you're still his wife's cousin, so calm yourselves. And then the credit card company calls to confirm that the charge was valid, and it was TJ's card, and, like, he's being held on nothing, basically, on trumped up charges. And even though he did push the security guard escalated the situation to the point that it's at. And one second. Sorry, someone was calling, and sometimes it shows up on my iPad. So I don't want to ruin it because we had a really great video today, and that is actually all I have for today for General Hospital. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you Monday for more General Hospital, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!